Welcome back to Reading with Miss Michelle. Today we're going to read Disney Pixar Cars 3. If you have a copy, go get it so you can read along with me. Don't forget to help us out by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video with all of your friends. It was the first race of the season. Fans cheered as the cars headed toward the finish line. Out in front was number 95, Lightning McQueen. Lightning's friends, Bobby Swift, Carl Weathers, and Brick Yardley, followed close behind. With a final burst of speed, Lightning surged past the finish line for the win. Lightning's season was off to a great start, and he kept winning races. Until one day, a rookie racer named Jackson Storm surprised everyone in his first Piston Cup competition. After the race, Lightning congratulated the rookie. "Hey, Jackson Storm, right? Great race today." Storm grinned. "You have no idea what a pleasure it is for me to finally beat you." "Did you say meet or beat?" Lightning asked. Storm smirked. "I think you heard me." Jackson Storm was part of a new generation of high-tech race cars. These next-gen racers were faster than the cars that had come before. Soon, veteran racers began retiring or losing their sponsors. Lightning couldn't keep up with the next gens. In every race, he finished behind Storm. But he wasn't ready to give up and retire. At the start of the final race of the season, Storm mocked Lightning. Lightning was determined to beat the next gen. Coming out of his final pit stop, Lightning gained the lead. But seconds later, Storm passed him. Lightning pushed himself harder and harder until he lost control. Sally and the fans gasped. Lightning flipped over and over. He finally came to a stop and his world went black. In the months that followed, Lightning recovered from the crash. No one knew if he'd compete again, but Lightning wasn't ready to retire. When he told his sponsors, Rusty and Dusty Rusties, that he would race again next season, they were thrilled. They had just made a deal to get Lightning a new training center so he could train on the same equipment as the next gens. But to do it, they had sold Rusties to a business car named Sterling. Sterling took Lightning on a tour of the facility. Lightning watched in awe as a sleek yellow race car zoomed through a simulated course. Curious, he turned to Sterling. "Who's the racer?" "Cruz Ramirez, best trainer in the business," Sterling told Lightning. Sterling introduced the two of them. Cruz wasn't impressed by Lightning. He looks old and broken down with flabby tires. Lightning was offended. "Hey, I do not." Cruz smiled. "Use that." Lightning laughed. "Oh, I see. I can use that energy for motivation, right?" Over the next few weeks, Cruz led Lightning through a series of training exercises. She didn't think Lightning was ready for the simulated course. Lightning disagreed. He hopped on the simulator and crashed through its screen. Sterling thought Lightning's racing career was over. He wanted Lightning to retire. Lightning pleaded for one last chance. "Look, I can do this, I promise." Sterling was skeptical. "If you don't win at Florida, you'll retire?" Lightning agreed. "Thank you, Mr. Sterling. You won't be sorry." Lightning headed to Fireball Beach to restart his training. Cruz went along to track his speed. Lightning thought if he trained the same way he had with Doc, he would improve. "All right, quicker than quick, faster than fast. I am speed," Lightning said to himself. Then he tore down the beach. Cruz was supposed to be right beside him, but she was stuck at the starting line, spinning her wheels. Cruz had never raced on sand before. Lightning gave her some tips. Finally, she got it, and they were soon zooming across the beach. But Lightning's top speed was still slower than Jackson Storm's. Lightning decided he needed to train against other racers on a dirt track, so he and Cruz went to the Thunder Hollow Speedway. It wasn't until the gates closed that the two realized that it wasn't a traditional race. It was the Thunder Hollow Crazy 8 Demolition Derby, where cars smashed into each other. Everyone, especially the undefeated champion Miss Fritter, wanted a piece of the newcomers. Cruz was terrified. She tried hiding behind a stack of tires, but Miss Fritter had Cruz in her sights. Lightning shouted racing tips to Cruz and drew Miss Fritter away from her. At the end of the race, Cruz was declared the winner. After the race, Lightning lashed out at Cruz. He still hadn't improved his speed because he was too busy taking care of her. "This is my last chance, Cruz. Last, final, finito. If I lose, I never get to do this again. If you were a racer, you'd know what I'm talking about, but you're not, so you don't." Cruz told Lightning about her first big race. A local track owner had given her a chance at professional racing, and she'd blown it. She had been intimidated by the other racers. "I knew I could never compete. I just left. It was my one shot, and I didn't take it." Lightning apologized. He hadn't meant to hurt Cruz's feelings. The next day, Cruz resigned as Lightning's trainer. But Lightning asked her to come with him to the famous Thomasville Speedway. Lightning wanted Doc's old crew chief, Smokey, to train him. Cruz agreed. When they got there, Smokey took them to meet Doc's old friends. Lightning couldn't believe that he was actually meeting his heroes. Junior Midnight Moon, River Scott, and Louise Barnstrom Nash. Later, Smokey led Lightning to his garage. The letters Doc had sent him while he was Lightning's crew chief hung on the wall. Doc had seen something in Lightning that he didn't see in himself. Smokey agreed to train Lightning if he faced the facts. "You're old. Accept it. You'll never be as fast as Storm, but you can be smarter than him." Lightning needed someone to stand in as Jackson Storm during his training. Smokey thought Cruz was the natural choice. Smokey trained Lightning the same way he had trained Doc Hudson. They did sprints and drills. Smokey tested Lightning's strength and torque by having him pull a heavy trailer. To have them practice getting through a crowd of racers, Smokey put Lightning and Cruz in a field of stampeding tractors. He was hard on Lightning. "Do you even want to be out here? You gotta work harder." After several weeks of training, it was nearly time for the big race. But Smokey had one more test for Lightning, an all-out race against Cruz. The two stayed close together around the track. As they neared the finish line, Lightning gave it everything he had, but it wasn't enough. With a burst of speed, Cruz crossed the line ahead of him. Lightning was stunned that he had lost. Finally, the day of the Florida 500 race arrived. Lightning felt nervous. He still hadn't managed to match Storm's speed, and his whole racing career was on the line. The starting flag dropped, and the race began. As Lightning sped past the other cars, Smokey and Cruz cheered him on over the headset. Suddenly, there was a wreck on the track. Lightning immediately headed for the pit and asked Cruz to meet him there. The pit crew started working on Lightning, but he stopped them. He nodded toward Cruz. "Not me, her." The crew gave Cruz new tires, a paint job, and the number 95. Cruz was completely confused. "Why are you doing this?" Lightning smiled. He wanted to give her the chance to show the world that she was a racer. As Cruz sped around the track, Lightning gave Smokey advice to pass along to her. Finally, Smokey gave Lightning the crew chief headset. Lightning coached Cruz around the track. The crowd began cheering for the new 95. With only a few laps left, Cruz moved up until she was just one car behind the leader, Jackson Storm. Storm dropped back to taunt Cruz. He mocked her new paint job. "You'll never be one of us," he told her. Storm's words hit Cruz hard, and she slowed down, falling behind Storm. But Lightning wasn't going to let Cruz give up. He sees something in you that you don't even see in yourself, that you're a racer. Cruz felt her confidence return and sped up until she was right behind Storm. Cruz made a move to the outside. Storm viciously slammed into her, pushing Cruz into the wall. "You don't belong on this track." Cruz wasn't going to give up. "Yes, I do." She pushed herself off the wall and flipped over Storm. Cruz came down in first place and sprinted for the finish line. Cruz won and the crowd went wild. The leaderboard showed the winner as McQueen/Cruz because they had both raced wearing the number 95. Lightning and Cruz had both won, and so Lightning didn't have to retire. Back in Radiator Springs, Lightning and Cruz raced around Willie's Butte. Cruz was now part of Tex Dynaco's race team and had taken Doc Hudson's old number 51. Even better, Tex had bought rust ease from Sterling. Lightning and Cruz were teammates. Lightning was happy. He knew that whether or not he raced again was up to him and nobody else. But right now, all Lightning was focused on was getting Cruz ready for her next race. The end. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed listening to this book, and I hope you were able to read along with me. Don't forget to help us out by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video with all of your friends. I hope you join me next time. Bye!